The Last Clue is a production of Smith Media Team, LLC. We are in Washington State where we have a nationwide manhunt.
Yes, coming out of Wenatchee, Washington, in Chelan County, making national headlines for something I'm sure nobody ever wants to. No state, no city, no county, ever.
Travis Decker, 32-year-old father who has recently been homeless and living out of his truck, is wanted on 3 counts of murder and kidnapping by the local police. And we're about roughly 150 miles east of Seattle in a very wooded area. I think the sheriff for the press conference we just watched said that about 87% of that county is unreachable by road.
Yeah, that was very eye-opening, impressive to me, that it's that rural or wooded back roads, but apparently that is Chelan County for you.
So, as the nation takes hold of this story, because it's tragic,
Absolutely.
the first thing that we would both like to point out is, please, if you are going to contact the authorities, make sure that you have a first person account of seeing Mr. Decker. They are getting a lot of reports of my boyfriend's sister's cousin
Right.
knows a man who saw Travis Decker at 31 Flavors last night. They don't
Right.
need that.
No, they
They've got
don't.
enough information coming in right now. If you see someone that matches Travis Decker's description in that area, because there was a sighting in Idaho that, according to the press conference, turned out to not pan out, but it was a legitimate sighting that all of the law enforcement in that area, and trust me, there's a ton.
Yes. All
They
hands
they
on deck
went
right now.
they went and checked out in McCall, Idaho. That turned out to not be Travis Decker. We have a very general description. There are pictures all over the internet if you want to find Travis Decker, but we are looking for a white male with black hair, brown eyes, about 5 feet 8 inches tall, and 190 pounds. And before you jump on the phone to call the FBI, make sure that you take a look at a few pictures of Travis Decker, because the flyers that we have seen, there are 4 different looks on each of the 4 pictures on the flyers. One with a completely shaved head, one with kind of a buzz cut. There is a video that shows him with a ponytail pulled back into a hat. This
Right.
guy's got a bunch of looks, and he's pretty smart. He's not as smart as the police right now, because the police are all over that area, but he is very smart. Um, he grew up in the woods. He grew up camping. He grew up somewhat, and I feel comfortable saying this, somewhat as a survivalist.
Yes.
Um,
His dad said that he enjoyed doing that and looked forward to doing that ever since he was a child. Now, with the description, he was last seen with his long black hair in a ponytail, but we all know that can change with the snip of a scissor. So please keep that in mind. Something that is not easily changed are the tattoos that he has. So he does have tattoos on both arms. Look to be tribalish on either of his biceps and on his forearms. So also last seen wearing a light colored tan shirt and dark shorts, but he is experienced enough to where they said that he has enough knowledge and experience to spend about 2.5 months out in the wilderness.
he's a he's a former military member. has
Yes.
extensive training. Um, the authorities say he may pose a significant risk if approached. I think that it was a little bit of an understatement.
Yeah. I'm not approaching this guy if I see him.
I don't think you approach Travis Decker at all, because
No.
at the time he was homeless. He was living out of his truck, which was a 2017 GMC Sierra. That's been found. Um, and unfortunately, his daughters were found near that truck as well. There were bloody handprints on the truck. We have not received any information as to any known injuries, but again, he got the jump on police because this all happened over a weekend. There was not enough information to issue an Amber Alert
Right.
when the family first went to the police, but the Amber Alert was issued as soon as there was enough information.
I do remember there being an endangered persons alert, but there's a lot to unpack in this one. We will also say again, do not, if you think you see or spot somebody matching Travis Decker's description, do not approach him. Please call the authorities. And again, make sure it is a first-hand account. But Mr. Decker apparently has some alleged mental health struggles. His ex-wife had reported that he had been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder or borderline bipolar, and she does not believe that he was taking medications for that. So there's a little bit of instability here. Obviously, you don't just have a bad day and go murder your three children.
And I think too, and I do hate to say this because it in wrapped up in this tragedy as they go on a manhunt. Um, we've got a family that we really need to keep close to us, because we've got, man, this pains me to say this, but we have 5-year-old Olivia, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 9-year-old Peyton that were just taken from us, from all of us, for no reason. They were innocent children, and you've got a family grieving, but you've also got the national and international media focused on the father who allegedly took the lives of his three daughters. And again, going back into what we were talking about just a little bit, um, this is not someone that needs to be approached. This is a man that was deployed to Afghanistan as an infantryman in 2014. So he does have training. 4 years ago, he joined the National Guard. He was a sergeant in the 81st Brigade, Unit 1, 161, while he was in Yakima and Wenatchee. So this, don't trifle with this guy. I'm
No,
sure I'm sure he is bunkered down in the woods, and unfortunately, as tragic as this event has been, I don't think there is going to be any kind of peaceful resolution to this.
no, there's not. And even as a survivalist, if you think about it, and I'm just trying to bring some forethought to this, having lived in Alaska for several years, even as a survivalist, at some point you have got to reach a water source. So if you are an experienced fisherman and you're in these desolate areas that have these great spots, sometimes there's those thrill seekers. I call them thrill seekers, but they're pretty well versed in their kayaking, canoeing, things like, the whitewater type of things, sports. So if you see something, say something. But again, make sure it's firsthand. But I just keep going back, especially to fishermen. especially in that neck of the woods, so this the Seattle area and out in those creeks, those campgrounds. They like to head out there for that sadly uh, oxymoron right now, peace of mind and peace and quiet, but it's all
Well,
eyes on.
and I think one of the things that we forget is when the words border patrol are mentioned, we tend to focus on the south.
South.
We tend to focus on the border between Mexico and California or Mexico and Texas. We have border patrol all around the country.
We do.
So we have border patrol from the Canadian side that are also assisting in this.
Yes.
And the focus is on the Rock Island campground because that's where the three children or where the three children were found or found near. So I if he has escaped that area, which again he did get a head start, um, the Border Patrol, the FBI, the local authorities,
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security, they're going to find him. Now, how they're going to find him, I I honestly think there's only a couple of ways this is going to end.
Mm.
One, they're going to find his body, or two, he's going to die as a martyr. He's going to make the police shoot him because he's not going to go.
Suicide by police.
He's too. I believe at this point, and possibly because of the mental illness, and I apologize for the words I'm about to use. He's too much of a coward to take his own life. So, like you said, I believe this will end up being a suicide by police situation. Um, and I don't see any other way. He's not going to turn himself in. I just from what we have read about him, what we've learned about him from the press conference, which the sheriff feels that they are very confident that this will come to a resolution quickly. I don't think that it's going to come to any kind of resolution where he is going to spend a minute in any type of jail cell.
I I tend to agree with you, and we also want people to know that we do not take mental illness lightly, nor are we making light of it in any sense of the imagination. You've also got to know some of the background of Travis beyond the mental illness, where obviously, like has been stated, homeless and living out of his truck, financial struggles, behind on child support. He apparently was holding down a job, but he didn't have any type of stability going on in his life. He had even been talking about giving up his dog because of financial struggles and not a place to live and things like that. So he had a lot of things going on beyond um, mental illness struggles, financial struggles. Just there's a whole lot going on to the point where he took the lives of his three children and gave up that wonderful, amazing title of Girl Dad.
And the worst part about this is it seems from what we've read and heard and studied
Yes.
that this was premeditated. And I know that is not breaking news by any stretch of the imagination, but when they found his vehicle, they not only found the unexplained two bloody handprints, but there were personal items in the vehicle. There were blankets, there was food. I mean, the car seats are obviously in there, but his wallet was on the center console.
And from the news conference that we just heard, there were more than one cell phone because they used cell phones
Mm-hmm.
in the plural. So there were cell phones found in that truck that are being um, investigated. I can't think of the right word right now, but police are examining those.
And and the camp that they were at showed signs of recent activity when they found the vehicle. So as heartbreaking as this sounds, I don't really have a choice but to say that it appears that he told his daughters that they were going camping, went to the campsite with every intention of taking the lives of his three daughters.
And we haven't stated how um, it was reported that this was done, but I think it's important that we do so we can show that on our end we're definitely not police officers or anything, but it was premeditated. The girls um, at glance died from asphyxiation. Well, I don't know why that word is so hard for me right now. Asphyxiation. They were found with plastic bags over their heads, and their wrists were bound with zip ties. So doing that once could be an act of passion, but when you do it 3 times, that's premeditation.
You can't, you just can't imagine how angry this story has made both of us. And as I appreciate the passion coming from the sheriff that was on the press conference that we just watched, you're not going to find him alive. This is going to be a situation where he is either going to force law enforcement's hand to kill him, or he is going to take his own life. And I don't know that he has it in him to do it. He's going to bunker down as long as he can, and he's going to force someone to make the decision for him. That being said, we have to do our due diligence here. There is a reward of up to $20,000 that is being offered for information leading to his arrest. Anyone with information is urged to call the nearest U.S. Marshals office, the U.S. Marshals Service Communication Center at 1-800 336 0102. That is 1-800 336 0102. Or you can drop tips at usmarshals.gov/tips. And you can also call the county sheriff's office. But please, again, they are getting flooded with information right now. If you didn't see it with your own two eyes, don't speak it with the one mouth you have.
Correct. We we know everybody wants him to be found. We know everybody wants justice for the Decker girls. We all want this, but we also have to do our part and make sure that we are not uh, spreading and playing telephone, telegramma, tell the FBI. If you see something, say something, but make sure it's what you see.
Not your cousin, not your aunt, not your stepsister twice removed. Just
Not something somebody tells you.
yeah. If you see someone that meets his description, contact the authorities. Otherwise, leave the authorities to their work. And I really believe this will be handled swiftly with the amount of law enforcement that is in that area.
Yes, but please stay vigilant. There are still a lot of questions going on here. I'm still wondering why bloody handprints when there's asphyxiation. Those two don't mesh. However, what I'm thinking really doesn't matter. What matters is that this killer be found, and that's what it boils down to.
We'd like to see a resolution to this, especially for the family and for the three young lives that were tragically lost
Yeah,
for no reason that we can understand.
I'm so angry that he has taken the word family out of this family. There is no more Decker family. It's it's him. The girls are gone. His ex-wife doesn't have her children anymore. He has destroyed a family.
The Last Clue is a production of Smith Media Team, LLC. If you or anyone you know have any information about this case, have suggestions about a case we need to cover, or general comments about the last clue, please email info@smithmediateamllc.com.